for the third time anyway, because truth be told, my friend lent me his HD cam and I want to make high quality videos. And I'll continue to for as long as he forgets that he lent it to me. So that's awesome, and I'm gonna take advantage of that. So a long time ago, probably like half a year ago, I wanted to try this new thing where I talk about my favorite things for that month or whatever I was into for that month. And I did that last July, and now it is the month of March. And so because like March isn't really over yet, I had to do February. So I'm gonna do this again. I believe the last time I started the other video, I listed off music, and honestly I don't remember anything in particular that I have been listening to, at least to an obsessive degree, because that's what it takes for me to remember what I listened to for that month or that week, because I tend to listen to my music in obsessive bursts and then completely forget about them. But if I had to think about it really hard, the last thing I remember listening to was a few songs by the artist Leon Lahavis, and she's really good and she's from the UK. And she does this style of really jazzy, soul-y, hip-hop-ish, I don't know, that's R&B-ish kind of pop. And she's artsy about it too. And I will link a video below. It's the video to the song called Elusive, and it's really beautiful, and the song is really beautiful too. And I got into a couple of her other songs, because when I listen to artists, I don't really get into their album, which is how you're supposed to do it, or how you properly do it. I just kind of get into a couple of their songs. So if I remember them, because it's been a while since I listened to her because of my habits, and I don't remember them off the top of my head, I will link them or name them in the description so you'll know them. And music-wise, I can't really think of anything else except for this one track that I discovered or listened to at a hookah bar while I was with my friends, and it's the Steve Aoki song featuring Travis Barker and Kid Cudi, or Kid Cudi, however the hell you say his name, and it's called Cudi the Kid, and it's really cool. And I also haven't listened to that in a while, and I don't think I've listened to anything else recently that I can really talk about. So yeah, that's it for music. Since I already talked about this, February was actually a month or so away. I guess the next thing I can talk about are these series of interviews by Nardwuar. And it's not that like I've recently discovered them, it's just that like I watched a video and then I proceeded to watch a whole bunch of them because it was a lazy fuck everything kind of day, where I just laid in bed and just watched Nardwuar, keep saying it wrong, videos on repeat. And if you don't know who he just is known for his interesting style of interviewing people. He primarily interviews musicians and performers and stuff like that, and most recently has branched out into doing different things. For example, like the YouTube channel called Epic Mealtime, because Nardwuar is from, why was I gonna say the Philippines? He is from Canada. Not Montreal, but another part specifically, I can't really think of it. And Epic Mealtime is also from Canada, and for some reason they met in Texas at South by Southwest because they happened to be there at the same time. So he does stuff like that, and he's interviewed other musicians and stuff. He's interviewed Snoop Dogg like 3 times, and it's just funny like how he's this like nerdy, hairy little white guy, and he's interviewing like hip hop and like rap artists like Snoop Dogg, and gets in pretty tight with them. I think my favorite, or at least most entertaining video I've watched of his so far, is the one he did with Riff Raff. And if you don't know who he is, you'll just have to find out on your own, because there are no words to describe him, really. Most recently, he's been doing more commercial and more up-and-coming artists, I guess, but he does like either well-established like rap and rock groups, mostly hip-hop that I've noticed, and indie artists too. So if you're ever really bored and you want to watch something cool, then I recommend watching videos or Nardwuar interviews. Yeah. Oh, and I didn't really explain like how he is unique. I'm gonna make this short because I'm gonna talk about this other thing which I know I'm gonna rant a lot about, but what makes his interviews really interesting is that he has this really unique style of kind of bombarding the interviewee about things that like the artist wouldn't really or typically expect him or like other people in general to know about, like their beginnings and like their interests and stuff like that. And he tries to pinpoint a lot of the time correctly like their musical influences or what he thinks they are, and he's right a lot of the time. And he like gives them gifts like pertaining to like their influences and like and stuff that they like, and that's what makes it interesting. And like he knows and really digs into his research so in depth that he kind of freaks out like the people that he's interviewing, to the point of like creeping them out and turning them off for the rest of the interview. But there are a lot of the people that he interviews react pretty positively to it, and an example of which is the one he did with Pharrell or N.E.R.D. It was a pretty funny reaction that he had. And yeah, if you want to watch something really interesting, watch his videos. I recommend Riff Raff and Lil B, the Bass God, and Snoop Dogg, of course, and just anything by him. And lastly, if I think about it, I could probably talk about other things, but I'm just gonna stick to this thing that I saved for last because I know I have a lot to say about it. But I'll try to not ramble so much because I have a tendency to do that like I'm doing now. Anyway, the last thing I want to talk about is the video game Ni no Kuni. And it came out 2 months ago, I think January like 22nd or something, the second to last week of January. And I've been wanting to play it forever, and fortunately my boyfriend got it for me for a Valentine's Day gift, which is not what you typically expect to get on Valentine's Day, but I didn't care because I wanted to play that game forever, and it's awesome, and I played it, and it is awesome, just like I was anticipating and just like everyone said. So this game is really well known and like has garnered like such like hype and anticipation because, hi, you may have noticed that I'm wearing something completely different, and that is because in the midst of making my last video, my friend actually came home and I didn't want to be caught like talking to myself. So a couple days later, I'm just gonna try and continue from where I left off. I know that I was gonna talk about Ni no Kuni, and I already have talked about it somewhat, but I don't remember quite what. Oh yeah, I think it was like I was really excited because everyone else was saying that it was awesome, and that I was already super excited about it because I knew that was going to be true, and basically it is true, and I have really nothing but high praise for the game, and it's even been like heralded as like the revival of the modern JRPG or whatever people have been saying, which is a really grandiose statement to make. And while I don't really think that it completely meets that label, I think it is a great game to come out, like just like a legendary game to come out, considering if you didn't already know that it was like animated by Studio Ghibli, aka the movies made by what the fuck is his name? Why do I want to say Akira Toriyama? Because that is not true. Hayao Miyazaki. So anything that he touches is pretty much gold. And yeah, and when you play that game, it's just like you feel like you're watching one of those movies and that you're in that movie and you're just interacting like with these amazing characters and like elements, and like even though it has a simplistic plot and everything, it doesn't really matter because like as a Miyazaki film, it's supposed to relate to children as well and resonates like with that kind of childhood like nostalgic feeling as an adult. I don't know, not to get too philosophical about it, but that's how it makes me feel. It makes me feel like as if I'm a kid again, and like kind of makes me feel nostalgic and forlorn that I'm an adult and I can't be as pure-hearted as I used to be. Oh wow, I just like drew a major parallel to like how, spoiler alert, like in the game, Oliver, the main character, is referenced as the pure-hearted one, and like yeah, I kind of get it now because he's a kid. But yeah, I kind of got off topic there. To really talk about like what makes the game awesome is like the beautiful graphics, the amazing gameplay, and just great music, because Joe Hisaishi actually composed the film as well. And it's a really fun game because it was developed by Level 5, who I'm not sure if they did the first Dark Cloud, but they did the second Dark Cloud, and they're responsible for the Dragon Quest games too. So just gameplay, game mechanics are awesome. People have likened it sort of to Pokemon, which I get, because it's like you operate on this familiar system where it's like the strength and like just like your traits and abilities as a character really come across by the familiar system, in which like you get 3 familiars, and they're like specific type of, who the hell is this? Just my boyfriend. These specific type of like genuses or like classes of these critters that correspond well to like the character that you have, and there are like 3 party members, or in one secret one. Spoiler alert, but and yeah, there's really a lot to be said about it, but I don't know, I feel I could really just make a video for all the things that I have to say about it. And yeah, so like great simplistic, but like, you know, good storyline, great battle mechanics, addictive gameplay, beautiful music, beautiful graphics, and just like everything that makes like a Studio Ghibli like movie the best. And it's just such a heartfelt video game, and like it would, if you don't have a PS3 already, if I didn't have one, then I would strongly consider getting one just to play this game, just because of like who collaborated and like what, just everything that went into this game. It's like I can't even. So yeah, I realized that it's like March is about to end. It's like the second week of March, and this is supposed to be for February, and nothing has really happened in the month of March. It's just playing Ni no Kuni, basically. Yeah. So yeah, that's like perfect. I guess that's exactly where I want to end it. There's really nothing more to say for the month of February / March, because that's pretty much all I've done so far. So thank you for listening to what I've liked, which is like, I guess, 3 things basically, one of which that I can't really say that I liked so much, and the other one where like I don't really think what I said did any justice to the game, even though like I rambled for like probably 5 minutes about it. So yeah, thanks for watching, and like I promise I'll get into the habit of making more of these, or just like more videos in general. And I actually did make another video in a completely different direction from this, I would say. So yeah, bye.